3:48 in the morning. I don't know what made me think I should book a flight this early. Everyone else is asleep. I'm off to the airport. Oh man, I cannot get over how nice this weather is. 2 days ago in Maryland, I woke up to ice and snow. Today, I'm in a t-shirt and loving it. Also, apparently 60 degrees is considered cold by San Diegan standards because I'm looking around and seeing people wearing sweatshirts while I'm, this close to starting to sweat. I think that my first lunch since getting to San Diego has got to be Mexican food. It pretty much is a requirement, I think. Oh man, that meal was delicious. That hit the spot. Come to California, first order of business, drone flying. As usual here in San Diego, it's a perfect day, as you can see from the view over to the ocean. So I'm going to take the opportunity to do a little one-wheeling here in Coronado. One wheel is already proving to be a fantastic way to see new places. I am able to get around here so much more easily and quickly than walking, but still not having to deal with the frustrations of finding parking if I were to be driving around these different areas. The one wheel is not the easiest thing to travel with if you're flying because most airlines don't allow something like this on the plane. So I actually had to ship this out to a friend's house out here in San Diego ahead of time before I got here. Otherwise, I would not have been able to bring it. Good trip around Coronado. I've only ever been here one time before, and that day was raining. So this is actually the first time I've gotten to see Coronado in the way that everybody imagines it, which is this beautiful, sunny, lightly breezed area with the all the stuff on the beach and the whole deal. So very nice afternoon. Let's check out some other stuff. In all of my trips to San Diego, I've never actually been out to Point Loma, so I decided to do the very stereotypical touristy thing and go do sunset at Point Loma. So I'm going to head up there now. I have to park about a mile down the road with all the cars that are here, so it'll take a bit to get up there. Look at this line of cars waiting to get into Point Loma. So apparently, the national park that is on Point Loma doesn't allow skateboards or devices or riding things or anything like that. Very courteous park ranger informed me that as I tried to enter. Shout out to the National Park Service for, doing what they do. So I got to go put the one wheel away so I still don't have to drive in after all. Okay, update number 2. Once I drove up there, I found out that the park closes at 5 o'clock, which is right around sunset, and meant that I would not be able to actually be up there during sunset. So I'm going to bail on this plan to go out to Point Loma, and I'm just going to ride around right outside the park instead and get some cool footage from up here. The good news is the naval base out on Point Loma, which is actually open to the public, at least to get through to the national park, I assume, still has phenomenal views of San Diego and over to the Pacific Ocean on the other side. So it turns out that it didn't actually matter that the park wasn't going to allow me to do any sort of sunset shots from up at like the lighthouse on Point Loma, because I was still able to get some phenomenal shots of the sunset while riding around on the naval base right outside of the park. So still a win and still an amazing experience. After a long day yesterday between flying out here and then just having a blast last night, combined with the fun stuff I did today, I am beat. It's only 9:30 and I'm calling it a night because I'm going to try to get up tomorrow earlier and go do some stuff before I head from San Diego to LA. So we'll pick this up tomorrow. Luckily, one of the benefits of going to bed so early last night was that it means that I was able to wake up this morning ready to go early and enjoy some of the early morning light in the harbor. It's pretty quiet out here. It's a Sunday morning. I'm seeing very few people, but the weather is perfect. So I'm going to go take a ride along the water and, just kind of enjoy my last morning here in San Diego. All right, what do I have to do? No payment required until Oh! Well, that's convenient. Thank you, San Diego. One of the things that I've always appreciated and found interesting about San Diego is that despite being a city of over 1 million people and a fairly densely populated city, it never feels that crowded. It's even in areas that are the more touristy and popular places, it's just never claustrophobic. However, San Diego is managing their public spaces to make it so that it does not feel like a very crowded or overpopulated city. It's definitely working, and they have a lot of nice public spaces that you can enjoy at all hours of the day. Gotta love the person that I just passed who's fishing literally next to a no fishing or swimming sign along the waterfront here. Turns out you can actually stand in the audience of a Bob Hope show in downtown San Diego. There he is. So just now, as I was taking some pictures and video around the Embracing Peace statue and the USS Midway down here on the waterfront in San Diego, this guy walks up to me and says, "Hey, I'm a runner and I always like to take a new picture every time I go out for a run. Would you mind taking a picture of me in front of the statue?" And I thought he meant he was just going to pose in front of it. But he actually wanted to get a picture where he was running through the frame with the statue and the ship in the background. So it's just kind of a cool random encounter this morning. I just suddenly ended up on a stretch of the path that said no bikes, which I assume means no wheeled vehicles at all. So I tried to bail off to the side, only to find myself in this funny little, themed shopping area. Now I have no idea how to get out of here. Okay, I think I found my way out. This is the guy I was talking about earlier that was doing the pictures out by the Midway. We just happened to run into each other again further down the road. Where are you from?
Norway.
Norway, awesome.
So I always go for running in the morning.
That's awesome. I wasn't sure based on the language on the phone. I was like, I don't know if it's on, hopefully it's on the right settings, but
yeah, should be. Okay, enjoy the ride.
Thanks, you too. Enjoy your run.
Next year in San Diego.
Yeah, exactly. I love doing stuff like that. As somebody who spent most of their life, or at least most of their adult life on the East Coast, it always just kind of throws me off that, out here, the sun rises over the land and sets over the water, which is the opposite of what happens at home, obviously. So it's just this little bit of a mind shift that I have to go through. At one of the conferences that the company I used to work for did, they actually had a Navy Seahawk helicopter that was brought into the convention center, and it was brought, I believe, from Coronado, but they had to fly it out of here. I think they brought it in by truck, but they couldn't take it out by truck or something, so they had to haul it out of the convention center over here onto the street, blocked off the streets in the area, fueled it up enough to get it over there, and then took off from the streets here in San Diego and flew out of here. It was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. I know it's a Sunday morning, which, would naturally be a quieter time, but I mean, it's 8 a.m. and it is a ghost town out here. This is the downtown area, and there's, looking in every direction, I can see 4 people total. Where is everyone? Well, Christiaan, obviously they're still asleep because they went out and partied last night instead of going to bed like an old man, or they're in church, being good, wholesome people, not just riding around narcissistically videoing themselves enjoying a new city. So apparently Starbucks, or at least the one that I was just in, is not into people charging things in there. I'm guessing this is probably a response to people camping out in Starbucks for hours on end on their laptops, but they've covered up all the power outlets with just blank plates, which seems like a really passive-aggressive way to go about that. Gonna head back to the Airbnb, pack up my stuff, clean out the Airbnb for the checkout, then probably do a little more sightseeing as I head up the coast to Los Angeles. Look at this insane hill that my Airbnb is on. Look at how steep this hill is. It's like something out of San Francisco. I didn't even know they had that out here. It's time to clean up the Airbnb, get my stuff packed up, and hit the road. All right, all packed up, ready to hit the road. This seems like a good place to end this one, so we'll pick it back up on the way up to Los Angeles.